Hey, welcome back. Steve AZ711 here. Let me show you what the house update looks like now. I have, what I want to do in this video is show you the tools that I used in cutting these metal roofing panels. What worked for me and what may work for you or not. Anyway, I finished off my gable ends and the soffits underneath, which is the roof completion part. Aha, there's a cat. Okay. This gable end has a soffit, and it's going to have ridge vent, not ridge vents, but end vents. Soffit needs to be made underneath this eave, which will allow air to go up through those gaps right there and out the vents here. This is the final gable end vents. Okay, and over on that roof right there, I will put a wind turbine, which will use the soffits as vents, because that gable end does not have any end vents or ridge vents, or excuse me, gable end vents. And so let me show you some tools that I used for cutting metal panels. And let me set this camera up. Okay, the first tool that I highly recommend are glasses. These will keep things out of your eyes, and you'd be surprised how much this has saved my eyes. When you hear something fly up and hit it, you'll be glad you had those on. These, everybody knows what these are. These cutters here seem to be able to make a turn a lot easier, at least to the left, than these here, but I use these more than these here. These were my #1 cutters, and you can cut all your panels with these if you have the patience to do so. This here is a Harbor Freight sheet metal cutting tool, and it makes very nice straight lines, but I had a lot of trouble going over the ridges with this. Now some people use I want to say a cut-off tool, can't think, but anyway, a grinder with a wheel on it, and they just put a small grinding wheel on it, and they just cut the panel with that. And I decided, because I saw someone using a saw with carbide teeth. Now this is made for wood, not for metal. They do make these for metal, but if you'll buy 3 or 4 small carbide blades, and of course this is a 6.5 inch Ryobi, you'll wear them out, but they're very, very inexpensive, and they do make a nice cut. But they're very noisy, and they throw a lot of metal pieces. I'll demonstrate that later. The tool that I used in conjunction with this was this tool here, and it's a Malco cutter for corrugated metal. They make these cutters for different types of metal, and this one is made for corrugated metal. And it attaches to your drill. And I really enjoyed this. This tool, I could make turns, I could go up and down the ridges. It was still a little trouble, but, and it is kind of heavy. It'll wear you out if you're old like me. But I really enjoyed this tool, and I'll demonstrate these in a minute. So why don't I get set up, and you know, everybody knows how these work. You've tried these before. But I'll go ahead and I'll do the Harbor Freight, then I'll cut a piece of metal with the Ryobi wood saw blade that's carbide tipped, and then I'll use my drill with this Malco corrugated metal cutting assembly on it. So let me get set up and we'll do that. Okay, first tool I'm going to use, Harbor Freight 14 gauge swivel head shear. This metal I believe is 19 gauge, 14 gauge is thicker, so this would go through thicker metal, of course. As you can see, it takes a piece of the metal out as it goes through. Like I said, I did not like that one very well. But it does make nice straight cuts. It's a wonderful tool if you're cutting a straight piece. I really enjoyed it for that. But like I said, I used it very little. So there's the metal cut-off shears. This head does swivel when you put some pressure on it. All right, the next tool I will be demonstrating, what I used is the Ryobi saw with the wood cutting carbide teeth blade. Let me set that up, this piece of metal up, and we'll cut with it. Now this saw will do the job, but it is very noisy and it throws off a lot of metal pieces, so you have to be very careful. I had to redraw my line, I made it crooked. Anyway, you can do a plunge cut with this saw too. I'm on a flimsy piece of metal here, but just like you would a plunge cut with wood. And if you don't know what a plunge cut is, it is where you hold the guard of your saw up and then you push the saw down into the wood, let the guard go after the saw goes through the wood or the metal, and then you're good to go flat again and go. So it's guard up, set the metal front saw down, and then push down through the wood very carefully. Do things slowly. Okay, here comes some noise. Safety glasses on. That's pretty flimsy right here. I might have trouble with that. We'll see. I have my blade set for paneling. Always make sure your blade is set deeper than, it would have to be deeper than the height of this ridge right here. And I'm sort of just skipping along with it. That might do it right there. and you don't do it right, it's going to bust off. So this was not my favorite, but when you're on a big panel and it's down good, you can make a cut. But when you're playing with little edges like this, you're better off to use your small snips than this. This was just for demonstration purposes, and as you can see, it ripped it right there, which could be dangerous. Moving on to the next one. This is by far my favorite tool next to the snips. Smooth, kind of nice. And you can make circles with it as well. So this is a wonderful tool here. I'll leave a description where I got this, or a link where I got this underneath the description. It's early in the morning. I haven't woke up yet. Okay, let me show you how this comes apart. All right, this is the way this tool is attached to the drill. First of all, I highly recommend taking your battery out. Then you unscrew that. By the way, this has a swivel head as well. This you tighten down and it'll keep that head from swiveling on you. So you can set it whichever way you like. This back clamps down over the top of the tool. There you drill. And then you just loosen your drill up the way you normally would. Take the drill off. There you go. There you have it. What a wonderful tool. So, I'm going to put this back in its little case. Hopefully I'll get this right. Okay, it's in there. Anyway, for those of you that like to read, like I said, DeWalt, I believe, makes one of these as well. Not sure on the price though. Okay. Wow. So, there you have it. And I gotta tell you, the most important tool that I had, that I used, was safety glasses. And I would recommend those for sure. And safety shield might even be better if you're using a saw blade, but better safe than sorry. Alrighty then. So everybody, thanks for watching this video. Subscribe if you like, comment if you like. I'm going to be moving on now to windows and doors. And for now, again, thanks for watching. This is Steve AZ 711 saying bye for now.